So there's a fake scandal currently going on where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is getting a bunch of backlash for nominating Bernie Sanders to be the Democratic nominee in her 60-second or 90-second speech. But the interesting thing is she wasn't going rogue. It was portrayed like, oh my God, she's going rogue and nominating Bernie. Apparently, she was just following the convention procedural rules. She was supposed to do that, and anybody who was familiar with the process was like, yeah, that's what we know she's doing it. It's not like Biden was backstage offended or something. He was like, yeah, this is what she's supposed to do. So, but now there's a bunch of articles about it with clickbaity titles as if she was going rogue. Now, by the way, if there was a situation where she wasn't supposed to do this, but she did this, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I mean, that would just be planting a flag, taking a stand, making a case that, no, we're not going to settle for this nonsense anymore. I want Medicare for all. This guy's for it. That guy's not. 69% of the American people are for Medicare for all now. So you know what? Piss off. Piss off. But she wasn't going rogue and she wasn't taking a stand. She was just doing her job. But she's still getting crap for it as if she went rogue. So now here's some of the establishment backlash. Take a look at this clip.
Whether or not he suits the party. I don't think it was about role for AOC tonight, not saying Joe Biden's name. Yes, she was nominating Bernie Sanders, but she didn't have to not say Joe Biden's name at all during that message. I think it was intentional until she tells me otherwise, and then I still wouldn't believe it. But what did you make of that in terms of what it says about the state of play in your party?
Well, I think that there's a couple things to say here. Number one, she is one of the most dynamic figures in the party, there's no doubt. Mm-hmm. And to, I think, pigeonhole her into a 1 minute, 90-second speaking slot where her specific job is to nominate one of the other candidate, I just don't think gave her the space to be able to expound and tell the story of where we are right now. And so it's kind of hard to judge what she did or didn't do in 90 seconds.
She could have said his name in 90 seconds. You know it. Well, I know it. If you had done that job, wouldn't you have mentioned Joe Biden somehow in the 90 seconds?
I will say this. Adi Barkan and the way that he was able to tell his story and to talk about the kind of change he wants to see and to showcase that kind of emotion from the progressive left onto a Joe Biden and the decency of the man, I think more than did that work. And so I think between both Bernie Sanders' speech yesterday, what AOC talked about today, and then Adi Barkan's extremely moving presentation on the future of healthcare and the vision that we all need to embrace with guaranteeing healthcare for everyone. Many of us prefer Medicare for all, but the guarantee for healthcare in the midst of a pandemic, I do think reflects really well on Joe Biden and what we can come to expect from his leadership and the opportunity in front of us if the movement comes along.
Doc, I'm going to let you slip that straight question I asked you about AOC for two reasons. One, I got something I want to ask Begala, and two, I like your mustache.
Now, Chris Cuomo here was actually somewhat nice about it, but he's reflecting the sentiment that I've seen throughout the media, where they're basically like, how dare she? The first argument was, oh my God, she, did the Bernie endorsement, so she went rogue. That was factually not true. She's just following the procedures. And then the second argument they fell back on was she didn't even mention Joe Biden. She had 60 to 90 seconds. I don't know how you mention anything in that time frame. You wanted her to take her 60 to 90 seconds and heap praise on Joe Biden? Guys, watching the dynamic of this election is really terrifying because it's almost like, you know what this strikes me as? It's almost like Biden and the corporate wing, they're acting like a jealous, insecure, significant other who needs constant reassurance that like, yeah, I love you, you're doing okay, you're doing great, like, I'm with you, yay, we'll fight, we'll be together, yay. And like, but the reason why they're so insecure and jealous is because Biden's not going to do any of the things that the left wants him to do. So, like, yeah, we're not excited about it. We're not happy about you. Are there going to be plenty of people who suck it up and vote for you anyway? Yes, but they're not going to be happy about it. But it's almost like they want that extra layer on top. They want you to not just support Joe in the sense that you vote for him even if you're not happy about it. They want you to, like, support him and be enthusiastic. And it's like, we would be lying to you if that's how we supported you, if that's how we acted. So the fact that they're asking for, like, why didn't you say his name? Why didn't you heap praise on him? For the love of God, she said before that she's going to vote for Joe. She's already said it. Like, what do you want? What more do you want? They want that constant reassurance, that constant praise, as if you can kind of like make up the enthusiasm that Bernie had from the left. You can't do it because Joe voted for the Iraq War. Joe wrote the crime bill. Didn't just vote for it, wrote the crime bill. Joe, is a deficit hawk. He tried to cut Social Security. The list goes on and on, man. That's why it's policy related. Young people know that Joe Biden is a moderate Republican, and they're reacting that way. And the other thing is, like, how often do they disrespect the left? They do it all the time. Like, even this Unity Commission was just a giant attempt to placate the left. Hey, what if I pretend to take you seriously and we have some meetings where, like, you and the centrists come together and you work out some policy details, and then we'll have a platform that Joe Biden will proceed to ignore every little bit of the entire time he's in office. But at least I gave you some pats on the head and acted like, oh, I'm taking you seriously. I care about what you have to say. No to Medicare for all. No to free college. No to, legalizing marijuana. So it's placating the left. But even after placating us, disrespecting us, you don't think it was disrespectful to give her originally 60 seconds to speak and pre-recording the message? They didn't even give it to her live. They said, we'll give you 60 seconds and it'll be pre-recorded and we have to check your comments to make sure they're okay. Like, you can repeatedly disrespect the left and you still expect the left to just, like, shut up and praise you and fall in line and act like we're in love with your campaign? It's just so pathetic. I mean, even how Bernie lost. It was at the very last minute. Barack Obama made some phone calls to Amy Klobuchar and Mayor Pete and promised them positions in the administration in return for drop out now and endorse Joe. So at the last minute, they coalesced, screwed the populist progressive who would have given us health care, and they expect you not only to shut up and vote for Joe and hold your nose, they expect you to, like, be happy about it and cheery about it. And that's what's so frustrating about this discourse, is that, like, if you talk to many people on the left, she's already being too conciliatory. We're already rolling our eyes like, Jesus Christ, like, really? You're going to bend the knee that much as well? But when you listen to the conservative, or the centrist hacks, I should say, all of them are like, she was rude by not mentioning Biden in the 12 seconds she got to speak. That's so wrong. Why doesn't she love the moderate Republican Joe Biden? Because she's not a moderate Republican. Get over it.